Broadcasting live from the UN Stronghold, Austin, Texas. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. And now, your host, Paul Joseph Watson.
We're back. It's the fourth hour of The Alex Jones Show. I was just touching on censorship, in particular Google censorship before the break. YouTube, which of course is owned by Google, has introduced a new restricted mode for its platform where basically if you select this restricted mode, you will be protected from offensive and upsetting content. The problem with that is that a bunch of LGBT groups came out and claimed that they were being unfairly discriminated against. Again, it's kind of ironic that they only get angry about Google YouTube censorship when it affects them. We've been whining about it ad infinitum for months and months. But if you look at this Google censorship on YouTube, again, owned by Google, the channels affected in restricted mode, guess which channels are affected? Guess which videos completely disappear when you look at the Alex Jones channel, when you look at my channel? All of them. Every single video on YouTube's new restricted mode, on my channel, on Alex Jones's channel, completely disappears when you select this option. Which channels are unaffected by this new restricted mode introduced by YouTube? Well, imagine my shock. It's CNN. It's CNBC. Even though in many of their videos, they're covering the exact same news stories that we are. In our videos, there's no nudity. There's no violence. In many of them, there's not even any bad language. We're covering the exact same stories as CNBC, as CNN. Not a single one of their videos is restricted in restricted mode. So you go on CNN's channel, every single video is available to watch. You go on the Alex Jones channel, not a single video is up there. So obviously they're using this to target people who they don't like politically. It's not about protecting people from nudity or violence. They're using it to censor free speech yet another way. And we're talking about this, of course, because McClatchy came out with a big report last night confirming that the FBI is investigating RT, Breitbart, Sputnik, and InfoWars for links with the Kremlin, basically arguing on a completely baseless conspiracy theory that we're somehow coordinating with Putin's trollbot army to spread information before the election to sink Hillary Clinton and to help Donald Trump. As we document in this article, well, let's take it from this angle for a start. This is, of course, all about fake news. They want to create the pretext that we're fake news, that we're discredited, that we can be censored on all these social media platforms. How do they do that? Well, they say we're spreading this fake news. It's put out there deliberately to deceive people to make money. Of course, that's a completely different category. There are individuals who do that. We've never done that. But the point is this: Stanford University came out with a major study a couple of months ago into fake news. They found, and you can go and read the study for yourself, that it had absolutely no impact on the US presidential election. So before you even get into an argument about who's pushing fake news, doesn't even matter. Had no impact whatsoever on the US election. There you see the headline. In fact, they went into drilled down into the numbers of this study and found that, if anything, fake news benefited Hillary Clinton, because the fake news articles that were spread most were beneficial to, were positive about Hillary Clinton. Yet they've spun this entire narrative that Donald Trump won the election because of fake news being coordinated by Vladimir Putin's trollbot army. Absolutely ridiculous. Of course, we're going to get into it in a second. The only people that manipulated public opinion, that manipulated news feeds, were Google, Facebook, and Twitter, the very thing they accuse us of doing. But it's interesting to look back as to the source, the individual who originated this deluded, baseless conspiracy theory that we are somehow in control of the Putin trollbot army, or we're coordinating with them. It, of course, traces back to an individual by the name of Louise Mensch, who is now living in America, but was a former Tory MP, now a journalist, and is known for some, let's just say, quite kooky theories. One of which is that Vladimir Putin personally ordered the assassination of Andrew Breitbart. And in fact, we've got a clip from a recent interview she did with the BBC, where even the BBC host basically owns her in the argument because she sounds absolutely insane when she tries to make this argument. Let's go to the clip.
You've also claimed...
As an adjunct.
You've also... So, just to be clear, we don't really have hard evidence yet whether this warrant exists. It may or it may not. There is some doubt about the evidence. There's lots of claims. Whether there's evidence about Mr. Trump and the Russians is another matter. And you've also claimed that President Putin had Andrew Breitbart murdered to pave the way for Steve Bannon. This was the man who founded the Breitbart website, to pave the way for Steve Bannon to play a key role in the Trump administration. You then said that Mr. Bannon is behind bomb threats to Jewish community centers. I mean, aren't you in danger of just peddling wild conspiracy theories?
No, first of all, I haven't. And no matter how many times people say this, it's not going to be true. I said on Twitter in a tweet, I believe that to be the case about the murder of Andrew Breitbart.
Well, that's what I just said.
But
you
it's not a piece of... It's not...
You
no,
believe
I didn't.
President Putin murdered him, don't you?
Andrew, I said, I believe it. You said I reported it. Those are two completely different things.
Well, you put it out on Twitter. You said you believed it, and you don't have a shred of evidence.
I do. And indeed, I made no...
What's the evidence that Mr. Putin murdered Mr. Breitbart? What's the evidence?
I said I believe it. I didn't say...
Look, you may believe there are fairies at the bottom of your garden. It doesn't make it true.
I may indeed. And if I say so, then that's my belief. If I say I am reporting, as I did with the FISA warrant, that a FISA warrant exists, you may rest assured that I have a basis in fact for a report. A belief is just a belief.
So let me just get the working...
I will report upon it.
Sure. No, look, I know you're relatively new to journalism, so let me just get the rules right. If it's, if it's Twitter...
Oh, Andrew, jealousy is not your colour, Andrew.
If it's Twitter, we don't believe it, but if it's on your website, we should believe it.
If I report something and I say, this happened, then I'm making an assertion. If I describe a belief, I'm describing a belief. I know subtlety may be a little difficult for you, but this is
I just think that if you want to be a journalist, if you want to be a journalist, beliefs have to be backed up with some evidence.
Really? What, do you have a faith?
Well, it's not a matter of faith, or maybe in your case, that President Putin murdered Andrew Breitbart. A
belief and a report are two different things, and no matter how often you say that they are the same, they will never be the same.
You've said in today's Sunday Times here in London that you've turned into, I quote your words, that you're a temporary superpower, where you, quote, see things really clearly. I mean, have you become delusional?
No, I'm describing a biological basis for ADHD, which I have, which, as any of your viewers who are doctors will know, provides people with, unfortunately, a lot of scattered focus. They're very messy, absent-minded professors, but when they're interested in things and they have ADHD, they can have a condition called hyperfocus, which means that you concentrate very hard on a given subject and you can see patterns and connections. That's biological, and I don't resile from it for a moment.
All right, thank you for explaining that. Louise mentioned for getting up early in New York. You are the first time ever I've interviewed a temporary superpower. Thank you for that.
You're so lucky. You're so lucky.
I don't think it's going to happen again.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the impeccable source of the claim that InfoWars worked with Russian trollbot armies to swing the election for Donald Trump. That's their impeccable source right there. A woman who believes that Vladimir Putin personally ordered the assassination of Andrew Breitbart. A woman who believes that she's got superpowers that allow her to see connections where no one else can. A woman who was exposed as being, again, imagine my shock, a Hillary Clinton sycophant. Again, this is the woman who wrote the article before the election, October 2016, for Heat Street, claiming that we were working with Russian trollbots. This is the individual. This is the source. This is also the woman who was exposed in WikiLeaks emails, the John Podesta emails, as being a Hillary Clinton sycophant. This is out of Breitbart. WikiLeaks anti-SJW Heat Street founder Louise Mensch, she poses as a conservative, she's a never Trumper, pitched ad script to Hillary Clinton campaign. And it goes through and quotes the email where she prostrates herself and genuflects to Podesta to the Hillary Clinton campaign, begging to allow her to write this feminist Hillary Clinton ad. This is the source of the FBI's investigation into these claims. She wrote a huge, rambling article claiming that we were working with Russian troll bots. It was completely debunked, completely eviscerated. In the months since, she went basically further off the wagon with more crazy claims, such as the ones you just heard in that interview. She's basically a laughingstock in the journalism world, and this is the impeccable source, which the FBI is now investigating the claims that originated with her. Absolutely ludicrous, as our article up on Infowars.com details. It also details the fact that, again, the Stanford University study found fake news had no impact on the outcome of the election. So before you even get into an argument about who was behind so-called fake news, didn't even matter. Trump would have won anyway. In fact, as I said, the fake news benefited Hillary more than Trump. That's what the study found. The fake news about Hillary was more beneficial towards her campaign. It circulated more on social media. Then we're going to get into Facebook, we're going to get into Google, we're going to get into Twitter, how they provably manipulated their own algorithms, directed their own employees to bury conservative-friendly news topics throughout the election to benefit Hillary Clinton. They did what the FBI is accusing us of doing. We'll be right back. We're live on the Alex Jones Show. Before we get back into the news, I want to tell you about what we have available at InfoWarsStore.com. We say it almost every day now. We're under attack in one form or another. If it's not the mainstream media, it's the federal government itself. We have available now at InfoWarsStore.com. State-of-the-art Defender body armor. InfoWars has always been obsessed with bringing you the absolute best products out there for the lowest prices. And now we've teamed up with Defender Body Armor to bring you a new state-of-the-art line of advanced body armor used by the US military, no less, and law enforcement. It's available at InfoWarsStore.com. It's certified to protect against all handgun rounds and even armor-piercing FN pistol rounds. And you know, why not? I mean, many on the left actually want a civil war in America right now. That's how hysterical they are. You have Sweden preparing for a Russian invasion, reopening their nuclear bunkers. Stuff might get crazy in a very short amount of time. We have the Defender body armor available at InfoWarsStore.com. It uses one of the strongest synthetic materials ever created called ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene. Defender armor is also super compact and lightweight. This is the body armor of choice from the Department of Defense. They chose it to manufacture their new line of advanced lightweight armor. It reduces body trauma to the lowest possible level. Basically, it works. And who wouldn't want to be making every preparation right now, given the absolute hysteria that still continues to sweep America in the aftermath of Donald Trump's victory? So supporters, we're under attack. It's not a cliche when the FBI is directly investigating us. Please support us by getting the products at InfoWarsStore.com. Finishing up on what we were talking about before the break again, Louise Mensch, the woman who thinks she has superpowers to spot patterns that other people just can't. The woman who wrote a fawning email to John Podesta to the Clinton campaign, begging, genuflecting for them to allow her to write this feminist Hillary campaign ad. She's the source of this ridiculous conspiracy theory that we were working with the Russian troll bots to sink Hillary Clinton to ensure Donald Trump won the presidency. She's the source of that. Not a very credible source, to say the least. But then you can look at Twitter, you can look at Facebook, you can look at Google. Again, if the FBI wants to investigate someone for manipulating public opinion before the election, Twitter, Facebook, Google are the prime suspects. And we document that in this article up on Infowars.com, red linked. why the FBI's InfoWars Russia investigation is completely ludicrous, and I break it down. 2 months before the election, and we reported on it at the time, psychologist Robert Epstein and SourceFeed's Matt Lieberman both exposed how Google was manipulating search results in relation to Hillary Clinton to ensure autocomplete suggestions were biased in favor of Clinton. That is a quote. And you see an example in the article. We include the screenshot. People would type in Hillary Clinton is into a Google search engine. Google only returned positive search results. You type the same search term into other search engines such as Bing and Yahoo, you got different suggested results. You got Hillary Clinton is a liar or Hillary Clinton is a criminal. What did you get on google.com? You can see the example right there if you zoom in. Basically, Hillary Clinton is God. Bow down and worship her. And of course, we know Google was deeply in bed with the Obama administration. According to Epstein, the psychologist who was quoted by SourceFeed, this had the potential to shift as many as 3 million votes. Google directly manipulating its own search engine in favor of Hillary Clinton. Direct evidence of what they accuse us of doing with no evidence. WikiLeaks emails also revealed that John Podesta, Hillary's campaign manager, sought to have, quote, discreet conversation with the likes of Apple, Facebook, and Google. Then you look at Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg wanted to meet up with the Clinton campaign. Their chief operating officer, Sheryl Sandberg, did meet with Clinton Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills in 2015. And we also know the story of how Facebook buried conservative trends, removed them from their trending list, ordered their employees to remove conservative-friendly trends and inject fake artificial trends into that list. Again, to manipulate public opinion. You look at Twitter burying hashtags that were negative towards Hillary Clinton, which Hillary and which Hillary censored. Those hashtags were banned. That was manipulating public opinion. There are numerous more examples where Twitter, Facebook, Google were caught doing what the FBI accuses us of doing with absolutely no evidence whatsoever. We'll be back on the Alex Jones Show live. Breaking news at Infowars.com.
Let's go to Debit in Florida. Debit in Florida, you're on the air.
Great. Hey, thank you so much. Listen, I have bought your product, and I gotta say they're amazing.
Thank
Anyone
you.
who's on the fence, buy it, because I've got Caveman, Superman Vitality, Secret 12, Vitamin Mineral Fusion. I've got the body armor.
Wow, thank you.
Wow.
You're the type of listener that makes it all possible. Which nutraceutical does you like best?
I really like the Vitamin Mineral Fusion, to be honest. That's
It's amazing.
really incredible. I drank it in the morning, and I swear to you, I felt incredible. Like I haven't felt weak. My morning was fantastic, and I love you guys. I love the InfoWars crew, and I just want to, I want to take this opportunity to tell anybody out there who's on the fence. Just buy it. You will love it. I'm telling you, I've never bought a bad product.
What you find in our news is the same thing you find in our products at InfoWarsLife.com. It's a win-win, InfoWarsLife.com.